Hello and welcome. It's The Real Ones. I'm Lisa Jones.
I'm Golden Duffy.
And here we are with some more trauma release. And we are so excited to have guest number 4 with us today.
Hello, guest number 4.
Hi.
So happy you're here.
Me too. Thank you.
You are welcome. All right. So we usually like to dive in and just go over like what the biggest thing is that you're looking to transform and shift and amp up. There may be nothing wrong. You know, we're not really about going after problems with people. We're really about amping up energy and the intention of the direction you want to go. But whatever's in the way, that's kind of what we like to address first so that we can shift that energy and then just let the wisdom come through.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
So go ahead and tell us, where you're at.
Okay. So this is where I jump in. So, for me, it's, one of the things that's coming up a lot is with respect to my business. I feel like I've stepped in and I've gotten in the way. My thinking has gotten in my way. And with the thoughts that I come back to over and over, I hold myself back with my business, or I have. That's been a past pattern. So I would like to let go of whatever these thoughts and just rise above them. Because the business that I have just a sprinkling of clients, and what I'd like to have and what I know that I can have and what would feel so good to my heart is a whole bunch of clients that I get to help and shift things and create amazing things with them. And of course that ripple effect. So so there's a lot of reasons why, but I want more of this, but I also don't want to keep being in the space of trying to have that, or I will keep trying to have that.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you think about your business, like what is the first thing that pops up?
Hope that I go into hope. Well, I hope this will work, or
Okay.
I hope that, right? Versus like for me, for whatever freaking reason, it's been, why can't I just decide this is happening and stick to that decision? Like what's the problem here? Like I can decide in other areas of my life. What about this area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say your energetic state is about your business? It's just hope, or is there something underneath that?
Yeah, it's not always hope. It gets into like sadness, depression, woe's me, what's my problem? Those things too. And then it's hope. And then I have days and moments where it's like, yeah, I can do this. Of course I'm doing this. And then back through that whole system.
So it's not sustaining.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah, I'm feeling this yo-yo energy, where, and it's all about, to me, belief in yourself. And this is just a reflection. That's what I'm getting of, some wounds in your lower chakras that just are keeping you separate from, really calling in your divine power and your wisdom and your knowing. I mean, again, it's like you said, you get these sprinklings of knowing and it's working, but then it's like the ego mind wants to take you back and say, oh, really? Do you think it's really working? But that's the energy you're in, you're in that vibration of like you said, not a decision, it's hoping. And so that's always leads to it not working.
Yeah, the separation. It's like you're tuning into the frequency of not having it when you're hoping. And I actually put a post up recently about hoping and wishing and waiting. It's like all of that stuff is not being. Like this is about identity creation. So it's about stepping fully into that, waking up in the morning and saying, okay, if I was this successful business person, what would be the first thing I would be doing? How would I be feeling? There would be so much more excitement than being in that hoping, wishing, waiting, wanting phase.
Exactly. Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Cause again, you're putting out to the universe, like, well, I hope this works. And then the universe is like, okay, let's give her some maybe hope that this might work. It's like really just dialing your tuner to the, like, this is working. This is the decision. And then following the guidance that you're given. I think that's a big step too, is that once people, cause like Goldyn always says, it's going to work out anyway. It just might take longer depending on your vibrational level. And so when you're in that hope, it just your tuning just keeps falling off, and you need to go
I'm seeing like, instead of like a wave, I'm seeing like almost like feathers. It's like there's nothing strong enough to keep the wave conduction going.
Yes.
you know, it's
Yep.
almost like you put the wave out, you suck it back in, you put it out, you suck it back in. And you can't really do that because the universe is still listening no matter what. And it's very possible that there's things that are lining up that you can't see, especially right now, because the world is in such a weird place. The energy that we're conducting right now is activating. But
Yeah.
as far as seeing evidence, if we're basing our feelings on evidence right now,
Yeah.
Yep.
we're going to lose. Like this is about presence. This is about listening to our intuition. This time is this great pause, and it's still happening for us to really get in tuned with and clean up all of our stuff. So you're in an awesome place. You really
Absolutely. I love it too. And the whole idea of, I know Abraham talks about don't focus on reality, because right now reality is so false, you know, I mean, that's what all this, you know, the fear is out there, false evidence appearing real. And so we need to just look beyond what we think is happening out there and go into that knowing of, like you said, guest number 4, about, you know, sometimes you really feel great and energetic. And so we need to just get you tuned into that full time.
Amp up.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
And it's so like that what you both said feels so true, like the feathers versus the wave.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm so attracted to waves. I've been watching surfing. I've had this thing, especially lately, it just naturally extra attracted to waves. It's really interesting you brought up the waves and then the feathers. Like, yeah, that does really feel like where I've been at.
Yeah.
And
That's
moments of maybe a little wave, but then now it's just reverted to a feather.
Yeah, we need to build up the energy behind the wave. That's all. It's so easy. Like once we put it in our minds and we think this is so difficult for me to get from here to there because I've never really done it before and I'm trying to make this huge quantum leap. And truly it's just like a millimeter shift within our tuning systems to be able to tune into that energy of success, that energy of, and it doesn't mean that boom, you're going to be making $1 million right away. It means that you're lining up with the excitement of $1 million. So it means that you're energetically, so that it's almost like the energy is so fantastic that you don't even need the money because you're feeling so good. And then the money just comes because it's in alignment with that. So if you're waiting for money to be your indication of success, it's trust us.
Doesn't work. The other thing that's coming through too is it's about really, again, lining up with that feeling and then taking the action that comes up, because sometimes people get super locked in on what they think is the right way that their business is supposed to go. And yet maybe you've been offered a few other opportunities that you're like, well, that's not my business model, or that's not what I'm doing. And you don't know. That's the thing. Like, you need to be open to what is universe providing when you're tuned into that. I think this is the second step. Once we get the clearing done, then it's like, wow, you need to like open your field to know that, opportunities are everywhere, and to, take those leaps of faith, because that's where the quantum leap is. It's not in our brain and like, oh, well, I'm going to plan this. And that's why I don't like business plans, because I'm like, that's just cutting off the universe. I mean, you want your best competitive advantage is to just listen and tune into the universe and let it guide you, and then follow their advice and directions.
Right. And what you're saying is huge, Lisa, because that has also come up for me lately. Like, I just created a webinar, and I put a lot of time and effort into creating it. So there's an attachment to having this do something, right? There's that attachment piece, which is not always such a terrific way to go. But that being said, I've started to say, well, is this even what I freaking want to be doing? Like, I'm attached to doing it this way, but do I like doing it this way? Is this how I want and who I want to be serving? So other pieces have come up, and I'm like, well, maybe it's just because it's not going the way I want. So now I'm questioning. So getting myself in a little bit of a confused state, which never helps to create momentum. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I would say, because you did put so much work into the webinar, it probably doesn't feel good to let it go. I mean, we can see what comes up during your session to see if that is truly in alignment. But honestly, anything can be in alignment with us as long as we're doing it from the right energy.
Right.
So when we question it and we get confused about it, then we muck up all the energy and it can't go anywhere. But if we just get real clear on it and we go, this has to work because I put so much work into it, then it will go, So I would hate to see you let that go, because I know you worked really hard on it, and it's not necessary to let stuff go
Right.
unless it's really giving you a lot of angst and anxiety and you're really feeling awful about it. We can clean up energy on anything.
Yeah.
And also the outcome might just be different than what you expect, because that's the other thing is, yeah, maybe it's not about throwing out the whole thing, but just doing it going forward, because it might lead you to another, you know, the next step. So that's the other thing. And that's why it does get a little confusing. It's like, well, wait, this doesn't feel good, but you know, I put so much work into it. But yeah, it's really going with the flow and allowing that to just keep unfolding.
Right. Yep. Which is what I want. I just, at this point, I want to just keep opening up to what is in my best, highest interest. What is going to what's going to work the best for me so that I
Yes.
can be my best self. Yeah.
That's right.
And I would
Follow
say
your-
you're well on your way.
Good.
Absolutely. Okay. All right.
Hey, let's do some clearing work.
Here we go. Here we go.
All
right. So we just invite you to take a nice deep breath and just kind of release our conversation and just open up your field. So we open up the field to love and light and divine energy and to the greatest amount of releasing of energy that no longer serves you. We just settle in, release the shoulders, release any energy that feels like confusion. Just let yourself be in this beautiful, clear space. I know you are so good at getting there. That's what I'm getting right now. You're so good at getting in this place where you know who you are. You know why you're here. You know what you have to offer. And that's what we're interested in amping up for you and allowing you to set your dial and really to tune the dial so that it clicks in and it doesn't have the ability to move or shift or be set to a different tune.
That feels so good. We're going to just do a little grounding here. So calling in a beautiful ray of sunshine in through the top of your head, allowing this beautiful golden light energy to come down and flow through your entire body. And it's feeling really like potent today. Like it's almost like a bolt of lightning that's just coming down, like boom, like turning you on. And then allowing some roots to come out of the bottoms of your feet and go all the way down to the center of the earth and wrapping around the very core center, and allowing this beautiful grounding energy to come up through those roots, through the bottom of your feet, in through your ankles and your calves, your knees, your thighs, up to your belly, up to your heart center, filling that heart center with this beautiful grounded energy. I'm getting that you bring a lot of energy from the universe down, but because the grounding isn't quite there, it's hard for you to then translate that into a 3D world. Goldyn and I were talking about that earlier today, is like how much kind of minutia that we have to go through as human beings on this earth to just get our daily stuff done. And so by grounding more, that's a really great way to be able to create that energy with more ease and grace and flow to get these kind of minutia type things done. So whenever you feel like you're stuck in that area, just ground, take a moment, breathe, ground, and that way you can bring things from the universe into fruition much easier and quicker.
Yeah, the statement that's coming up is 3 feet from gold. So it's that energy of feeling like you're so far from what you want, but you're really just so close. Yes. And I think, as Lisa said, that grounding energy is just going to help you to facilitate and formulate from a different place of energetic connection, where you're able to bring things more into the physical instead of just feeling it energetically. You're going to be able to actually manipulate the energy into physical matter.
My whole body is on fire with that. So I really feel the truth of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like there's been a lot of internal energy and just being able to transform it into, and that's where the confusion comes in. It's like, okay, I can feel this energetically, but I can't make it physical. That's the issue. Because you have this belief system that says, I feel these things. I know how good I am. I know this beautiful gift that I have to offer people, but to be able to bring it into the physical, I've never been able to do it. So there's that disconnect where as soon as you have the energetic wave and you let go of what you need it to become, it will become.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I've got so much energy flowing through. And what I'm seeing right now is literally like this, it's almost like your body is what they're showing me is a magician, you know, where they lay the lady in the box, and then he takes a big like metal thing and like cuts her right in the middle. That's what it looks like. Like you're disconnected from the top chakras and the lower chakras. And so this is what we're healing today, is we're connecting those two pieces. It's almost like, you know, plugging the outlet into the wall, and boom, you're going to just have a huge shift when this is all over.
Yeah. So let's just release all the confusion. Let's release the fear from the lower chakras, because that's one of the things that causes the interruption, is just the fear. There's like the fear of success is coming up. The fear of being independent is coming up. The fear of, believe it or not,
being seen.
Like, being seen, like what is going to be asked of me if I really am successful with this. So release all that. Yeah, it's going. I can feel it. Just take
it is going.
Let it go. These are old stories. They don't belong there anymore. Just release all that, that energy that doesn't transform. So it's this just, what is this?
Yeah.
I keep seeing the feathers, but it's like this, it's just a weak energy, because it's stalled out by low belief systems. So just release all the weakness, all the energy around weakness, and all the energy and the belief that vulnerability is weakness, because we have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable to really put ourselves in a place of strength. And in order to do your work in the world, you have to become a little vulnerable. So instead of coming to people and saying, I'm strong and I figured this out and I'm there with this and I'm going to show you how to get there, you have to get a little vulnerable and you have to say, this is where I've been and I hear you and I understand you and I can walk you through this. So that just came up. So
yeah, that's a big shift right there. I can feel that too. Cause it's the, to touch into other people's hearts, which is where, you know, ultimately you connect. To be able to work with somebody is the vulnerable part of you sharing, because otherwise then there's, again, this wall, this disconnect.
It's relatable. It's being relatable to people. Yeah. If they feel like you're too smart or you're too above them, it's hard for them to relate where they are right now. It's like it's not that we have to drop our vibrations to other people, but we have to come back into our hearts and go, oh yeah, like they need love and compassion right now.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because so many times it's like, you know, when we're on our journey, we're so much further than we think we are, or that we, and so then we literally forget what it's like when other people, you know, we're trying to communicate with other people and help them. But it's like, you almost have to go back 3 more steps than you think you do, because that's just not where they're at. So it's like that frequency dialing, you know, you need to dial into who your clients are, and that's what I'm just getting, that there's just still a little disconnect between who you're really wanting to help and what your words are that's being put out there to connect with them, because it's like they're not able to hear, because you're coming almost from a higher level than what they're getting. Does that
makes a lot? Yeah, that's totally what I'm getting. It's that relatable connection.
Yes.
So it doesn't mean you have to dumb yourself down, and it doesn't mean that you have to, you know, dim your light. It just means you come at it from a different perspective, where you're shining light on their energy, their weakness. And it's like the difference. And this used to happen to me when I was teaching law of attraction. I would come at people and I would be like, well, you need to do this, this, and this, right? Instead of pulling back and saying, okay, this is where we're at, and it's okay. It's okay that you're here. It's beautiful that you're here. I've been here. I feel it. I feel your energy of where you are, and taking people's hands and stepping them through the steps instead of trying to yank them to where you are. That's what I'm getting.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a different energy. It's a very different energy. I don't know if you can feel that, but I can feel it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like an empathetic compassion connection rather than an authoritative, like, I've got the answers, because you do have the answers. There's no doubt about it that you've got everything that your clients need, but it's just a matter of massaging the message is what I'm getting.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that I feel like with words, I felt like I was putting out the empathy with words, but I guess I've been missing it with feeling and energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, you're such a feeler. This is where the disconnect is, because you are such a feeler. And if you're not connecting with your feelings, you're putting out programs with no energy behind them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whew.
All right. So let's release that, because I what's coming up for me is, it's like a confidence thing. It's like we're trying to prove ourselves to people. And if we're trying to prove ourselves to people, we're losing the underlying message. So it's that worry of being all that. It's that worry of not being enough. It's, oh, there it is. Yeah. It's that worry of, I have to prove that I know everything. I have to prove that I can solve these problems for people. And the truth is, you're not solving problems for people. What you're doing is you're giving them an energetic connection to solution. So you're leading them to solution. You're not giving them solution. You're helping them to hook into solutions. So use your channel, use your divine connection to do that. And then you're going to be able to free yourself from any feelings of having to prove. Anytime we're trying to prove, we're coming from the ego, we're coming from the mind. So let's just release all that energy of not being good enough. Let's release all the energy that in connection that you have to needing to prove anything, or feeling as though like, I've done all this stuff, so now I have to do something with it. This is about service. So this is about loving people. This is about offering value. This is about creating a difference. It's such a different energy, opposed to I must be successful in my business. It's about giving, not taking.
That's amazing. That's so good. And literally the only thing you need is just to be one step in front of the person that's connected with you. You know, it's not about like, you know, you've crossed the finish line and now you're going to like, you know, coach people to run the marathon. It's like, no, just, you know, just start running with the people that are right there and guide them on what their next step is.
That's what I saw. I could see you're like too far ahead.
Yes.
That's the first thing I saw. Yeah.
That, oh my gosh. My whole body just keeps chilling. This is amazing. Woo!
All right. So let's amp up the energy, shall we?
Yes. Let's do it.
All right. So let's just bring in the light of divine energy, angelic energy, and let's just bring ourselves to a place of connection, a place where we feel connected in every single thing we do, whether it's in our human things that we need to do during the day, or if it's in a business, or like, let's stop separating business from spirit. Let's connect with divine energy. Divine, what would you have me do next? What would you have me do next? And let's really just bring this energy of our fullest connection with non-physical support and universal support, and come into this place where you see it, you feel it, you do it, you go with it, you just go with the energy and the flow, and there's no interruption. So we're dialing in, we're tuning in to this spiritual connection that allows value, that allows these incredible miracles to happen for people, for families, for moms, for kids, just bringing people to the next level of peace and love and joy in their family connections and within their own internal connections. You have the gift. Let's just amp the gift up and really shift and tune into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just feel there's so much power behind this. It's almost like there's a dam of energy that's just sitting there, and it's just been waiting to be basically open the valves, you know, and just start letting it flow. And so it's what I'm seeing is that you've created the structure and the infrastructure for all of this to start flowing. But now it's like, there was just a piece of, you know, a little bit of trepidation about, okay, what's next? And so now it's just knowing and relaxing in the idea that you are like, everything is perfect. There's nothing that can go wrong. It's all, everything that's unfolding is exactly the way it needs to be. And that this amped up energy is just allowing you to have that confidence in yourself, and just to know that it's all perfect, and that there's, and they're saying like, no, like the comparison needs to stop. There is no comparison. Just be what is, and allow it to flow, rather than try to, you know, again, like like figure out, what they're showing like mile markers and things like that. Like you don't need to keep track of all that stuff. Just let it be.
Just go with the flow. That's what I could see, like
Yeah.
that energy just coming out and just literally going with the flow and not having a belief that there's anything in your way.
Right.
It's like if there's a rock in your way, you can just flow around it. There's
Mhm.
nothing in your way. The only thing that's in your way is a belief system. And all
Right.
you have to do is move that belief system out of the way by saying nothing's in my way.
That's right. Whew, that's big. And then just keep regrounding. Anytime that there's, again, an obstacle or something, just tune in, ground, and say, Spirit, how, are we going around? Are we going through? Are we going to go under? Like, just show me the next step and then take it.
The navigation is not on your own. You're
Right.
not navigating on your own.
Right.
You always have that non-physical support and guidance. You just have to tune in, and you're so good at that.
Wow. And I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing this beautiful, it's like a amethyst sword that's being given to you to hold and to have and to use to cut through any and all obstacles that come up. So again, when you're, anytime you think you're stuck or that you don't know which way to go, it's almost like a lightsaber, just pull out your big amethyst sword and have that in your toolbox of, that you can just pull out and just cut through whatever's happening.
I love it.
Woo! Wow.
Yeah, let's just feel that energy up and allow it to soar and allow it to become more and allow it to activate energetically so that we are always in a position of divine connection and we create the belief systems from that and we allow ourselves to become all that we already are.
Awesome. Wow. That was great. How are you feeling, guest 4?
Okay. I had some tears. I have, what do I have right now?
Can you get a little closer to your mic? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me lean in.
There, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So I am, so I had some tears and I have now just some calmness.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, so that means we released, which is incredible. And the awesome thing is this is recorded, so you'll be able to do it again and you'll be able to just facilitate more and more and more of this. We instruct people to do this for like 30 days, like to listen to this for 30 days. And then at the end of 30 days, everything will be transformed.
Wow. Yeah. My mind's like, I want to go through and like hear your instructions. Like, of course, I'm like, right back to the markers again. Like, how can I do this? How can I write? But I know just listening to the, obviously the releasing, the releasing, letting go and grounding myself. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
Are we pulling some cards real quick?
Oh yeah.
We like to pull cards for our guests. Where are we going today?
All right. So the first card, which is always the blockage card. Ooh, I've got power. What'd you get?
Persevere.
Persevere.
Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. And and step into your power. I mean, because that's part, again, the first card is blockage and it's really about, get out of your mind and get into your heart. And that's where, I feel like that's been, too much mind thoughts.
Yep.
Okay. Action card, perform. Nice. And leadership.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Those are perfect. So just listening to your heart and then acting from that. So what is my highest excitement? It doesn't mean it's going to be business all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be about you activating that energy of joy, that energy of appreciation and being in the flow of that. And then you're going to be bumping into people and different things are going to be happening. Which
I definitely got that too. And I couldn't articulate it at the time, but part of this too is it's not like your business is one thing and then your personal life is another. It's like this melding. And that's what I got that in every, when I talked about the magician with that big thing, I saw that between, the heart and the lower chakras. And then I saw it between you and your clients. And then I see it right now between your business and your personal life. So there's just all these, it's almost like you've containerized each one of these little things, and they just need to, with this clearing and everything, it's going to absolutely open all that up.
Oh, so, okay, I got it. So there's a belief system between, like, if I'm doing stuff for my family, then I can't do stuff for my business. And that creates an interruption in the energy field when you're out and doing errands and things and bumping into people, because you've got that separation. So just like it can happen anywhere at any time, creates that feeling of miracles and synchronicities.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Woo!
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Faith, baby.
And
faith.
Manifest.
Wait,
manifest.
What's this card for? Manifest?
This is the outcome.
This is the outcome. Oh!
Cool. Faith. Oh my gosh, that's big for me right now. It keeps coming up. And manifest.
Yeah. Awesome.
I got the on that one.
So yeah, you're totally gonna, you got to have your faith, and you're gonna manifest, whatever. I mean, you're creating your own world, your own life. So you just got to absolutely make that decision that this is what's happening.
Yeah. And before you go to sleep at night, this just came up. Before you go to sleep at night, I just want you to play this out in your mind. Who that person is, who that really successful, play out your day the next day as far as like what you want to see it created, because then you'll have that 7, 8 hours to really manifest that energy so that you're spending time creating that in your world.
Yeah. And I just want to add, that's awesome. I've tried to do, I noticed I used the word tried.
I love it.
This visualizing before I go to bed, and I just fall flat on it. So I listen to a meditation that feels good. But I notice that it's like I want to see it. I want to be there. And I'm like, why am I not seeing what I want?
Yeah, so let it come. Don't try to make it happen. Just open up your mind and say, I'm ready for the visions. And you may even just have them in your dreams.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not about us making it. Michael Bernard Beckwith talks about this. It's called visioning versus visualizing. And visioning is inviting the divine in to help us see what's coming. So it's like kind of like a psychic thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
And the other thing right now, the veils are so thin right now. I'm telling you, like I called, my window wasn't quite working in my car. And so I called to make an appointment. And as I was talking to the woman, I pulled up and I was putting my car, my convertible back up, and the window worked, and it's been working ever since. So it's like, you just need to dial into that frequency. The same thing. My tea kettle was leaking. So I'm like, oh, I got to get a new tea kettle. I ordered it, and now it's not leaking anymore. And I'm like, what is happening? And I think Goldyn had that happen too.
It happened with my blender.
Right.
And actually last night I had lost some important paperwork for a board I'm on. And last night I was laying in bed and I was like, okay, angels. And they showed me exactly where it was. And it had fallen behind a drawer where I keep all my stuff. So I pulled the drawer out this morning, and there it was.
Oh my gosh. So seriously, it's really just about taking the step, right? Calling to make the appointment. Oh, now it's working. I can call and cancel the appointment. I mean, I'm going to get the new kettle because I wanted a new one anyway that has various temperature settings, but it's just upgrading. It's like, time to upgrade.
I get it. And I've had some similar things happen lately too. So
great. Yeah. It's a powerful time. It's super exciting.
Good
and there's no difference between small and big. It's just,
you're right.
Castle and a button, baby. Castle and a button.
I get it. I just need to totally believe it. Yeah.
You're there. You're there.
This was awesome. Thank you so much for guest 4 for joining us today.
All right. We're excited.
To both of you. Woo, thank you so much. Love and blessings to both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.